dear friends of ISOCARP. For us it's a real privilege and an honor to receive this 2017 ISOCARP Award for Excellence. We appreciate a lot this recognition because we know that our members in ISOCARP are really a reference of the urbanism of our generation. I would like to share with all of you the experience of Fundación Metropóli. We built Fundación Metropóli with the dream of building the cities of the future. Our objectives is knowledge creation and sharing in a very difficult and challenging world. We do our work in 3 dimensions. One is research, second is design of cities, and third is incubation, going from ideas to reality. Fundación Metropóli was born in Philadelphia at the University of Pennsylvania 20 years ago. Today, the headquarters of Fundación Metropóli is in Madrid. The building of Fundación Metropóli in Madrid we call the Ecobox. The Ecobox is the environmental building of Fundación Metropóli that symbolizes the dream of building a sustainable future. And we use the latest technology for reducing the consumption of energy. The Caribbean Diamond of Colombia is a very singular project. I would like to make some comments on concepts, methodology, and the design strategy we follow for designing this initiative from the government of Colombia that can really inspire other intervention, other projects in Latin America. The diamond as a concept is a metaphor. We live in a world of cities, but cities of today are really different of the cities of the past. Even though megacities grew a lot in past decades, in the future we will see medium-sized cities becoming more and more important. Medium-sized cities will go from representing 11% of the GDP of the world to represent 37% of the GDP of the world in less than 20 years. But medium-sized cities do not have the critical mass to be relevant at the global scale. That's the reason why these cities need to collaborate, need to work together. They need to create urban system. They need to form urban diamonds, territorial diamonds. We can see Urban America 2025. We can see similar structure in Latin America, around Buenos Aires, Diamante del Río de la Plata, and also in Europe, the European Diagonal. These new structures, this new urban articulation will inspire the construction of the new infrastructure. Even in Asia, around Singapore, between Singapore, Kuala Lumpur, and Penang, a new emerging territory, a new diagonal, we call Malacca Straits Diagonal. This is the reference I would like to share with you before presenting briefly the Caribbean Diamond Project. This is experience in Colombia. You see Colombia and the economic connection with the rest of the world. The territory we call diamond is this triangle, this yellow triangle. We have 10 medium-sized cities that are leading the activities and the urban economy of this territory. And in this image, we symbolize the economic power of cities and the dialogue between them. These are functional areas calculated through ISOCARP. In this context, we can really see 2 main features from nature. We can see the coastal line and the Magdalena River. These 2 natural components are fundamental for the definition of the diamond and for the articulation of this project for the future. You can see now the river, you can see the engines of the economy, the cities. The river is fundamental ecological structure of the diamond. And this initiative called Magdalena Plus, in Spanish we say Plataformas Logísticas Urbanas y de Servicios, inspire the vocation of medium-sized cities along this ecological corridor. Our collaborators, our artists, are interpreting the future of Magdalena River as a fragile territory, fragile from the ecological point of view and from the social integration point of view. And digital diamonds try to connect industries, to connect people, to connect cities, to connect different components of this territory for accelerating competitiveness and integration. So the diamond is a post-conflict project. It's a project to accelerate the poverty alleviation and accelerate the competitiveness for creating jobs, for allowing a social integration and a social balance in this territory. We have been working at different scales in the diamond. You can see in this slide Cartagena and Barranquilla and how the environmental system give a coherency to this delta territory, to this island. In this context, connecting Cartagena and Barranquilla, looking for synergies of two neighboring cities that for many years have been competing, allows to integrate ports, to integrate airports, to integrate universities, logistics centers, tourist development areas, and so on. This is the concept of Metropóli del Mar, the integration between Cartagena, Barranquilla, and Santa Marta. And in this context, we can inspire projects at the smaller scale. In the center of this Metropóli del Mar, we have Barranquilla. Barranquilla is a very complex metropolitan area. In each case, in each city of the diamond, we identify the component of excellence and the strategic choices for the future. In the case of Cartagena de Indias, you can see the environmental systems of Cartagena, road systems, and in fact, the road system has a radiocentric structure. The more the metropolitan area grows, the more congested is the center. We are proposing a metropolitan linear structure for growth, and that will inspire the future of Cartagena de Indias. We'll integrate the new deep water port with logistic development and also environmental rehabilitation areas and residential growth. Try to avoid sprawling, which is the most typical way of growing Latin American cities. The confluence between physical and digital world is one of the characteristics of the diamond. But to finalize my presentation, I would like to strengthen that a diamond is an alliance to work together. We can see in this slide the president of the country, President Santos, working together with the different mayors of the diamond, and also how different institutions can work together. Mayors, development banks, private sector working together in joint projects. It is important the participation, to have local forums with local leaders representing different sensitivities and working together to define an urban profile for the future.